Fellow citizens, good evening. Today, May 7th, 2025, marks 120 days since I had the profound honor of being sworn in as the President of the Republic of Ghana for a new 4-year term. It is a day that I specifically noted on our calendar to come before you, the people of Ghana, to account for the critical first steps we promised to take in our initial months in office. Our campaign was anchored on the vision of building the Ghana we want together. And our manifesto, Resetting Ghana, laid out a bold yet pragmatic plan for national recovery and transformation. Central to this plan was a social contract for the first 120 days, a set of specific actionable promises designated to enable us hit the ground running and signal our unwavering commitment to change. I stand before you tonight to update you on how we have delivered on these promises. To the people of Ghana and the world observing our progress, let me state clearly, we made promises and we have kept them. Our first 120 days have been defined by decisive action, a commitment to transparency, and a relentless focus on laying the foundation for building the Ghana we want, a just, prosperous, and united Ghana. Let me now walk you through the progress we have made on the specific commitments outlined in our 120-day social contract. We promised to form a lean and efficient government. I promised to nominate the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days and to constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic within the first 90 days. As promised, I announced the complete list of my cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days of being sworn in. They were all successfully vetted and approved, and they have hit the ground running. Indeed, I have so far appointed only 56 ministers and deputies so far, the smallest number of ministers and deputies appointed by any president in the Fourth Republic. We've also nominated our metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, and they are going through the various phases of confirmation to complete the formation of our governance team at the local level. Establishing a robust code of conduct. I have committed to establishing a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building on my previous efforts, we have reworked and finalized a significantly improved version of the Code of Conduct for Government Appointees. The comprehensive document launched last Monday addresses new areas including a prohibition on purchasing state property directly or indirectly, regulations regarding hampers, and clear monetary limits for official gifts. I've left my appointees in no doubt that I'll bring down the hammer swiftly and strongly if they breach any of these provisions. We promised to hold a national economic dialogue within the first 90 days to understand the state of our economy and build consensus on the way forward. On March 3rd and 4th, 2025, the government of Ghana convened the National Economic Dialogue at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing together partners including the private sector, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, and academia. The participants presented a comprehensive report with clear recommendations to restore macroeconomic stability and regain confidence in our economy. These included enhancing fiscal and monetary coordination, reviewing the foreign exchange regime, implementing major tax reforms, overhauling the public financial management system, reforming state-owned enterprises, strengthening expenditure controls, establishing a credible medium-term expenditure framework, promoting strict fiscal discipline on the part of government, and aggressively pursuing inclusive growth. The implementation of these recommendations has begun to yield results. The currency is becoming fairly stable, inflation is inching downwards, and we have reduced the excessive borrowing that had become the trademark of past governments. The report also provided valuable advice on promoting industrialized agriculture and aligning skills development with national priorities. We've taken this advice seriously, and implementation is underway, guiding our economic policy decisions. Following the recommendations of the National Economic Dialogue, we've amended the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, to introduce a debt rule that aims to reduce the ratio of debt to GDP to 45% by the year 2034. We've also established an operational rule to post an annual primary surplus of at least 1.5% of GDP on a commitment basis. The amendment also allows for the establishment of an independent fiscal council to monitor the government's adherence to the fiscal rules. This reform was executed in April 2025 before the September 2025 deadline under the IMF-supported program. What is also new about this law is the sanctions associated with breaches of the fiscal rules, which extend beyond just the Minister for Finance to include all ministers of state and heads of covered entities whose actions or inactions contribute to the fiscal slippages. Government has commissioned the Auditor General and 2 international audit firms to audit payables and commitments to validate their legitimacy and values and provide recommendation for corrective measures. An amendment of the Public Procurement Act has also been passed, making the issuance of a commitment certificate by the Minister for Finance a prerequisite for all procurements funded by the central government. Scrapping draconian taxes to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business. I promise to scrap the e-levy, the COVID levy, the 10% levy on bet weddings, and the emissions levy within my first 90 days in office. These tax expenditure measures were central to our 2025 budget statement. On April 2nd, 2025, I signed several bills into law, including the Electronic Transfer Levy e-levy repeal bill 2025, the emissions levy repeal bill, and the betting tax. We have delivered on 3 of these 4 specific tax repeals as promised. The COVID levy has intricate linkages to the existing IMF program. As a value-added tax, we have agreed with our multilateral partners to include it in our overall VAT rationalization exercise that is scheduled for September this year. We significantly exceeded our 120-day promises regarding overall tax reform by enacting other critical bills such as the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the removal of VAT on motor vehicles, the Public Financial Management Bill, the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act, the Earmarked Funds Capping and Realignment Bill, the Gold Board Bill, the Energy Sector Levy Bill, and the Petroleum Revenue Amendment Bill. This swift legislative action underscores our commitment to providing relief and creating a more favorable economic environment. Reviewing taxes on industrial and agricultural imports. We're committed to reviewing taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported for industrial and agricultural purposes within our first 90 days. My government has initiated a crucial review process. The results of this comprehensive review will guide policy decisions and be incorporated into the 2025 mid-year budget review and subsequently the 2026 budget, ensuring that we support these vital sectors effectively. Commencing the 24-hour economy policy. One of our signature policies for job creation and economic transformation is the 24-hour economy policy. We promise to commence drafting the needed legal amendments and prepare for its implementation within the first 120 days. The program is designed to drive structural transformation across our economy, built on pillars aimed at revamping key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. The program rollout has commenced in earnest. The 24-hour secretariat is collaborating with the Development Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to operationalize financing pillars for this program. Cabinet has approved amendments to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act to include specific clauses regarding 24-hour operations. These amendments aim to enhance social protection, create an enabling environment for the 24-hour economy policy, and promote conducive business and labor relations. Already several businesses are lining up to sign on to this policy. Some tangible actions have also been taken. The Ghana Investment Promotion Center has launched 24-hour premium services to eliminate processing delays for investors. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has launched a 24-hour passport service with the passport application headquarters operating 24/7. The DVLA used a 24-hour service to clear a long-standing 18 months backlog of licenses and will soon commission a new 24-hour service office at Adenta in Accra. The Youth Employment Agency is set to launch the Graduates in Corporate Support (GRICS) program, which will attach graduates to firms operating 24 hours a day. This program is targeting 20,000 graduates. The YEA is also partnering with security agencies, the fire, police, immigration services, to provide security for 24-hour firms and is working towards training and deploying 23,000 recruits for this purpose. Recognizing the need for robust security, the police service is establishing a 24-hour police unit to improve 9 patrols and utilize technology supported by nationwide sensitization. The Minister of Energy and Green Transition is engaging the PRC to set up smart metering with a time of use tariff, charging a lesser tariff during the off-peak hours, a direct incentive for enterprises on the 24-hour economy policy. The Minister of Finance and Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy policy is finalizing a list of incentives for businesses to sign up for the initiative. The Ghana Publishing Company Limited has also begun 24-hour printing operations. In fulfillment of the 120-day commitment, we're pursuing new avenues of job creation, expanding employment opportunities, particularly an accelerated Export Development Council, to promote exports as a key strategy for economic transformation. I'm glad to report that on Monday, I inaugurated a 19-member Accelerated Export Development Advisory Committee, which I chair myself. This committee will monitor export activities and performance across all ministries, departments, and agencies, including the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. We will not accept any business-as-usual attitude. The committee's functions include reviewing performance reports, monitoring targets, refining trade policy, deliberating on international trade issues, and providing policy guidance for exports. Ghana's export sector faces challenges, including cumbersome documentation processes, requirements from under-resourced regulatory bodies, and inefficiencies at our ports. According to the International Efficiencies, cost Ghana $4.3 billion yearly in losses, export losses. Sectors such as fisheries face contamination issues, and vital segments including women and SMEs remain underrepresented in our export sector. Establishing the Accelerated Export Development Authority Committee is crucial as a central platform for coordinating reforms, driving execution, and unlocking Ghana's full export potential. Under this Accelerated Exports Advisory Committee, our bold strategy to grow non-traditional export earnings by several multiples over the current $3.5 billion exported annually by at least 2028. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area offers an unprecedented opportunity and we're positioning Ghana as a regional manufacturing and export hub. This year, we aim to triple the number of companies certified under the African Continental Free Trade Area Rules of Origin. We intend to scale up our export readiness, training for youth and women, and expand into new markets while consolidating our existing partnerships. Ghana will become a hub for products, digital services, knowledge exports, and our creative industries. Convening a national consultative conference on education. I promise to convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on the necessary improvements to our education sector. I'm glad to report that this promise has been fulfilled. Over 2,000 proposals were received, including a survey on free senior high school with 20,000 respondents. The report on the consultations will be ready by the end of May 2025 and will be made public. The extensive consultation was crucial